Hey, first of all, I think from everybody in the room, if they haven't said it, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good way to end the year with a new job. Kind of different from your old job, from what I've heard.
Well, is it?
I think maybe the room is hoping so.
No, it is, yeah.
Okay. So do you want to talk a little bit about it? I think people would want to know, like, why. We don't need to know personal reasons, but like new challenge, new opportunity.
Yeah.
You wanted to work with me.
I wanted to work with Kyle. So.
Yes.
No, I think, new challenge, new opportunity. I mean, Adweek is an amazing brand, and I've been following it my whole career, and it just felt like the right position opened up at the right moment, and it was time for me. You know, I was at campaign for 4 years, and it was just like time. It just felt like stars aligned, and decided to make the jump. And it's nice because I still get to work with all of you wonderful people.
And some familiar faces.
And some familiar faces.
At the new job.
Yeah. I've worked with our editor-in-chief, Ryan, in the past, and I've bumped into Kyle at every industry event. Now we work together. It's good. It's like a new challenge with familiar territory. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe a new team, new era.
Yeah, so our team is, I'm kind of overseeing the agency brand's creative beats. So obviously most of you, I'm sure, know Kyle. He's covering agencies. We're hoping to expand that team next year. And then Brittany Kiefer is based in the UK. She's our creative editor. And Terry Stanley reports to her, covers creative. Rebecca Stewart is our brand editor. She is also in the UK. And then we have a new-ish reporter, Sydney Lee, who's covering a little bit of mix of like brands, creativity, some agency stuff. So that's the team.
It's a good team.
Yeah, it's a great team.
Now I'm going to, Kyle, you know this question's coming, and I'm sure everyone's burning for them. Adweek versus AgencySpy. Though for some of us, we remember the old AgencySpy. Raise your hand if you remember the old AgencySpy. Oh, look at these veterans. Okay. How many of you had to call Patrick Coffee at 10 p.m.? Yeah, now that's a crew. Okay, good.
I get none of those calls. AgencySpy is, it's there in name, but we haven't been a spy for a while. And I think I've talked to probably many of you about this, that we can't be a spy legally. We will get raked over the coals. I don't want to be in jail again. AgencySpy has now been meshed into the regular agency's site on Adweek, which is, I know, very happy for some of you because we got a lot of, can I get in the regular site and not AgencySpy? Yeah, I know who you're laughing. You're laughing, I know. But yes, so we've now meshed it in the regular site. It's basically a news aggregator now. So we'll do quick hits on that. We'll keep some of the features that we have, like tools of the trade, which I know a lot of you read and have submitted to, and thank you for that. We'll keep that, and we have a few things that we will still be doing. You can ask me about it, and many of you do. So,
or at the Rager tonight.
The Rager.
Possibly. We're going to make it a thing.
All Ragers start at 5:40.
Yes, they do. Hey, Rebecca's from Boston. I'm just saying that has some influence a little bit. Kyle, is there anything that you're not hearing from us, or as you look at next year, you're planning to shift?
I mean, I'm always looking for a good people story. I'm always looking for a good people starting new agencies or doing new things or just having been part of the agency world for a long time. Great creative, the stories behind great creative. I'm always looking for good things like that. I mean, I'm never going to say no to a really good, give me the right stuff right now and give me the exclusive on it. Sure, I know I've turned down some exclusives from some of you, but sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's just the fact that we didn't have enough people for it, or the fact that I wasn't even there at the time. So, but otherwise, we still want those scoops, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Allison, anything you want to share, like initially, now that you're in the new spot? You mentioned a podcast.
Yeah, so Adweek is going to have a new podcast starting in the new year. I don't have tons of details, but I know it's going to be like a weekly news kind of debrief hosted by Ryan Joe, our editor-in-chief, and then I think the reporters and editors will kind of like rotate on depending what the story is going to be about. And yeah, I think just in general, I think we want to just like really be out in front with our coverage and start like setting the agenda with the news we break. And I think especially for many of you on the agency side, just really like reconnecting with you guys and making sure that we're like the first people you think of when you have big news you want to share is one of my priorities. And then with creative, I think we have an opportunity to kind of like just almost be an arbiter of like what great creative looks like and what, you know, what the business story is behind that creative. That kind of makes it interesting to the audience. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Any times that we should not be bothering either of you?
After 5:30 p.m. No, just kidding.
That's fair.
Unless it's super important, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I start my day pretty early, so you can get me in touch with me at any time. I like being contacted by email more than text.
Yeah.
If you have my text, be gentle.
Yeah, I would say this is my personal line, so please.
Yeah.
Fair enough. A question we had during the other guys panel was about DE&I. Adweek at one point had that specifically as a part of a reporter's beat. We do miss that. I'm wondering now that you're there, what are you thinking about that? We're seeing it kind of go all over the place in terms of who's proud to have DEI, who is not, brand and agency side. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, this is a story. It's something that like I'm really passionate about us covering. I think it's like a huge storyline that's impacting the industry, agencies, brands alike. And we don't have a dedicated DEI reporter, but I think the way in which we cover brands and agencies, the way in which we decide what work we want to highlight, like that, having diverse perspectives kind of runs throughout everything that we do. And then having like Rebecca, you know, and her brand coverage has been covering a lot about like what's going on with the big brands, pulling back on DEI commitments. So yeah, it's something like we were really like passionate and I think out in front of it when I was at campaign, and I want to like bring some of that to Adweek because yeah, as people pull away, I think that's more of a reason to shine a light and, you know, get people to remain focused on it.
And I'm certainly working on things right now about the same thing, about pulling back and or doubling down. So if you have anything, let me know.
Ooh, I like the doubling down. All right, you got it here first. Before we go to questions, I do want to look at the takeaways, if we can.
Do we have some? No.
I think we had a couple takeaways. There we go.
there we go.
Right, okay.
Oh, right down here. I think you all can read it. I will not be a creative and read it to you. You have plenty of that. But I'd also add, similar to, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, please.
There's also a $20 a month. You can subscribe. I'm not going to say give up your avocado toast, but I think there is something to be said. None of us want to give our work away free, including our creatives. I remind them of that when I get the, can I borrow your password? I might send them that article, but not my password. I know that happens a lot, but I think it's okay to remind them at their level that they can afford $20 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, also corporate subscriptions work.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yes, okay. Corporate subscriptions coming near you. Are we going to see anything change in terms of like a premium subscription?
So I don't have anything right now to share about it, but I do know like down the line, I think next year that's one of the things the exec team is looking at, just making it like an easier process to subscribe and more of a clear like, what do you get as a subscriber and all of that. So that's more to come.
Oh, okay. I like it. Teaser. And what do we got?
All right, we got a couple questions. When, if ever, would you send someone on a shoot to cover, you know, what's happening behind the scenes? Super Bowl only. Creative teams and clients are asking.
Oh, well, I mean, we would love to do that.
Yeah, we love going. I love going behind the scenes. I mean, I've been on shoots as a creative,
Right.
so going and covering it is just a great way to kind of get the whole feel of what's going to be going on in the spot itself. So yeah,
All right, I think you're going to get some invitations soon
Yeah,
from this
it
crowd.
is, though I will say it is like kind of resource intensive for us to do a story like that. So it would have to be like the right, whether it's Super Bowl or like whether there's like a bigger context to it, I think would
Right,
would
not
help
any
us.
old shoot, but something
Right.
major.
Yeah.
Big new campaign or something.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite example of someone successfully pitching an evergreen topic, but in a newsworthy way? It's a good question.
That is a good question. I mean, I've certainly gotten those, and sometimes it's taken the third time for somebody to send those, and I know, and I know that they hate having to send something a third time, but sometimes the timing is just right. And maybe it aligns with something happening in the zeitgeist, or it aligns with something that we're currently covering. So that's a very vague example of it happening. Can you think of anything specific?
I think I don't have a specific example, but it kind of ties back to my takeaway. Like maybe you can align it with something that's going on in culture or something that's happening in the news cycle, so that it feels a little more newsy to us. Like it has a news hook to it, even if it's not necessarily like news.
Okay. How can a media-focused agency get an Adweek?
Yeah, we cover media agencies. We just opened our Media Agency of the Year Awards, so you can apply to that. As we look to, like I kind of alluded to, expand our agencies team, we really want to have somebody like focusing on media agencies, giving them the attention they deserve. I really want to write about principal media buying. If anyone wants to talk about that, hit me up.
You also have the All-Stars, correct?
Yes. We still have
Another great
All-Stars.
opportunity.
And yeah, also media agencies they have like a wealth of insight on like what's happening on the platforms, what's happening with tech. Like, so if we're doing like, even not on our team, but like on, the TV team or the tech team or whatever, like those are really good sources for us.
All right. I have one more here. I think I have a few. What prompted expanding the agency team in 2025 as the media industry overall is shrinking?
Well, we think that the agencies are super important part of the ecosystem, and we want to cover you guys and all the great work you're doing. And also, back to my earlier point, you guys have a bird's eye view of the whole industry. So even if it's not necessarily a story about your client or your agency, we can find value in having relationships that help us tell other stories that are important.
Okay. What's an example of a recent story that resonated with your audience that surprised you? Like it's something super popular and you just didn't quite.
I did a recent story on producers and their role, and it was thanks to a study that a small agency in Portland, Oregon did. I didn't quite know how it was going to perform because we really haven't written a lot about producers, but there was a lot of interest, and I'm really happy that a lot of people read it because I think it was really important. I think it got down to what producers actually do, which is a wide array of things, and help kind of bring to light that producers are really important to the whole ecosystem of the industry.
Awesome. Okay, last one. We asked this to the last press panel. What makes a story or pitch irresistible to you?
Well, I kind of heard what the other people said, so I don't want but I think some of my answers are similar, like definitely access. Like if you are pitching a story about, a big brand campaign that's coming out and you're like, the CMOs wants to talk to you, that makes it more appealing. I think having it be exclusive is always helpful just because of, I'm a big believer in like, don't waste your resources repeating things people can read elsewhere. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, being unique.
Yeah.
I think stories that haven't been told, stories that need to be told that nobody has paid attention to yet. I think those are the stories that really pique my interest because, I get pitches for AI all the time. Well, how is AI being used in what unique ways? Because if you're just pitching another, hey, we got an AI expert, well, why?
Right. All right, thank you guys. We're out of time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.